Today's tropical weather update is brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.
Good day, everyone. I am Letitia Humphreys in with your tropical weather outlook for today, Thursday, October 9th, 2025. Straight away, we start off by taking a look at Tropical Storm Jerry. Now, there are tropical storm warnings and watches that are currently in effect as of 11 a.m. this morning. Barbuda was put under a tropical storm watch as the center of Jerry continues to move closer towards our area. The rest of the Leeward Islands remain under a tropical storm watch, and the British Virgin Islands at the present moment under just an alert being issued for this area. Now, as of 11 a.m. this morning, we see Jerry moving towards our area. A lot of thunderstorm activity associated with it. The center was located at approximately 15.9 degrees to the north, 59.1 degrees to the west, and that is just around 200 miles to the east-southeast of the islands. As we go on, we will show you the exact location away from each individual island in the Leeward Islands. Now, present movement is currently to the west-northwest, and Jerry is actually expected to continue slowing down. It slowed down from our previous advisory at 8 o'clock. It was moving just around 20 miles per hour. Present movement is around 18 miles per hour to the west-northwest, and as it moves closer to the area, it is expected to slow down and make a northwesterly turn and eventually to the north. Now, the sustained winds have remained at around 65 miles per hour, so not much change where that is concerned, and the minimum central pressure is just about 999 millibars. Now, as we look across the rest of the Atlantic, we see there's another area of disturbed weather, where in the North Atlantic, just about a 10% chance of formation over the next couple of days. Now, in terms of the distance away from the islands, as of 11 a.m., Jerry was just about 197 miles to the east-southeast of Antigua, 214 miles from Barbuda, 215 miles from Montserrat, and the rest of the area a little further away. So we're keeping a close eye on Antigua and Barbuda in particular. And remember, I mentioned Barbuda is now under a tropical storm warning, which means that tropical storm conditions are are expected within that specified area within the next 24 hours, but Antigua remains under a tropical storm watch, as well as Montserrat, St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, and tropical storm conditions are possible within this area within the next 24 hours. So residents, we're asking you to continue monitoring the progress of this system, and you should be preparing in the event that tropical storm conditions are in fact going to be felt in the area. So now, presently, the way the system is moving, we're looking at the stronger winds being on the northeastern side of the system. We can see Jerry here, and a lot of the activity, what we call the convection, which means the thunderstorm activity as well as the heavier showers. Most of that is to the southeast and to the east of the area. The stronger winds are also in the northeastern quadrant and the southeastern quadrant. But as Jerry continues to move closer to us, we are in the weaker side, which is on the southwestern side. So we don't anticipate to be seeing sustained tropical storm force winds. However, in terms of gusts, when we have those shower downpours, because we are in fact expecting to see some heavy showers associated with it. So as a result of those heavier downpours, we could be seeing some winds gusting up to around 30 miles per hour. So please bear that in mind. We're not anticipating full-on sustained tropical storm force winds. However, we could be seeing some gusty conditions as a result of those shower downpours. Now here's a look at the Barbados radar as we see Jerry approaching the area. If you look, you can see a bit of a circulation here. This is actually where the center is located, and you see those pop-ups on the outside indicating the thunderstorm activity associated with it. Closely monitoring, we have noticed that the showers are actually improving around the center, so the center is not as exposed as it was previously, because the forecast is for the upper level shear to decrease, and so it will allow for the system to actually strengthen a bit further as it moves towards the area. As we go forward, we're seeing here now that the rainfall forecast is around 2 to 4 inches. We're here in this green area. So the entire Leeward Islands, over the next 24 hours, the forecast is for about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, which means we could be seeing some minor to moderate flooding. So please continue to monitor our pages. So in case we have to issue a flash flood watch or an advisory, you will be able to get those updates as soon as they come out. Now, another impact associated with Tropical Storm Jerry is those coastal areas where the surfs are going to be impacting, and the swells are expected in the area. High surf advisory goes into effect this afternoon for Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, the British Virgin Islands, Anguilla, St. Kitts, and Nevis, because we're looking at swells out of the east up to 2.1 meters or up to 7 feet. And again, this is mainly for the coastal areas. So for those beach goers, there's going to be a lot of sand erosion. So for the hotels on the northern, the eastern, and even the southern side of the islands, you want to pay attention because the coastlines are going to be rather hazardous, and so we could also be seeing some sand erosion. There's also the possibility of some rip currents occurring, and of course you don't want to be trapped in those rip currents, especially when there are tropical cyclones nearby. You could be seeing the beaches may be a bit calm for a bit or ahead of the tropical cyclone, but even tropical cyclones being distant away from us, it could cause for rip currents as well to develop in the area. So be quite mindful that there's a tropical cyclone in the area. So if you don't have to go on out to the seaside, if it's just for the views, you can, but please, we're asking you to stay out of the waters. Now, a high surf warning also goes into effect later this afternoon, especially for Antigua and Barbuda, as we're expecting to see those swells coming in up to 15 feet. That's right, up to 15 feet. And when they tend to break at the coastal areas, they could actually break twice the height of the swell. So we're looking at around 13 up to 13 feet surfs. So again, a warning is going to be in effect later this evening. So we're asking you to stay out of the waters, especially on the north, the eastern, and the southern side of the island. So for our takeaways, Barbuda, you should be preparing for tropical storm conditions as you are under a tropical storm warning, and this means that tropical storm conditions are expected within the specified area in this case, within the next 24 hours. Antigua and the other Leeward Islands, you remain under a tropical storm watch, so you should be preparing for the possibility of tropical storm conditions. A high surf advisory and a high surf warning will go into effect later this afternoon, particularly for easterly swells, so the northern, the eastern, and the southern side of the island. You will be, in fact, on a high surf advisory and a high surf warning. Now, in terms of the rainfall activity, for flood-prone and low-lying areas, there is the risk of minor to moderate flooding. And as we continue to monitor the system, we're looking for the onset of rainfall possibly from this afternoon into tonight and into tomorrow, Friday. So as we continue to monitor the onset of the rainfall, we could also be issuing a flash flood watch or an advisory. So remember, you continue to monitor with us. Here's a shot at our radar. It should have been a bit earlier, but the shot of the radar presently showing that there are some patches that are moving onshore. This is Guadeloupe, so at first I would have shown you the Barbados radar, which is a bit further to the south. And as the system moves closer, and you can see the spinning motion indicating that there are some patches that are expected to move onshore. But the bulk of the activity is still a bit to the south of the area. So this afternoon is where we're anticipating an increase in the chance for rainfall into tonight and into tomorrow, Friday. So of course, if you happen to capture anything spectacular, I myself plan, if I get the opportunity, to go on out and to observe some of those surfs from a distance, yes, from a distance, and see if you can capture any pics or any videos. And remember to send them to us at abmsiwatch@gmail.com. We are available on different social media platforms, so subscribe so you will get our updates as they roll out. We're available on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Also call our hotline for your regular updates, 463-4638, and continue to monitor our website at antiguaamet.com. Of course, we encourage you to stay safe as we continue to monitor the progress of Tropical Storm Jerry. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Today's tropical weather update has been brought to you by State Insurance Company Limited. Live in a better state of mind.